What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Garrett here, and this is going to be part 2 of my multi-part series talking all things Karate Kid and Cobra Kai in my collection. So if you haven't checked part 1 out, make sure to check that now. I'll have a link down in the description box of part 1 of this series. In that part, I go over all the different posters that I have related to the Karate Kid or Cobra Kai, and some signed posters and items as well. So, kind of piggybacking off of that, in this video I'll be going a little bit more into the autographed and signed items I do have in my collection. Let's get this thing started now. Alright, the first thing I want to talk about is one of the first items from Karate Kid I ever had signed. I did show you this signature on another piece of memorabilia that I had, which was the original one sheet for the Karate Kid movie. And that was the second time I had met this person. The first time I met this person, I did not have an item to get signed, but he did have a cool item at his table, and I had it personalized to me. And that is Martin Kove, who is Sensei Kreese. And this is on a pretty cool, I'm not sure what size this is, 11 by 14, I think. And this was the first Karate Kid item I got signed. Was meeting Martin Kove at Monster Mania, and I'm not exactly sure what year that was, but it's a pretty cool print. It says "Fear does not exist in this dojo," and then he wrote Martin Sensei Kove, and he wrote "To Garrett, no mercy, sweep the leg." So you check that out right there. It's a pretty cool item. So that's an 11 by 14 framed item, almost kind of like a little mini poster, basically with him at front and center. So that's kind of cool. So that was the first time I met Martin Kove at Monster Mania, probably going on 10 years now. But that was the first item on my list today. And number 2 on my list, I had this item signed by both these people at, I believe it was Rhode Island Comic-Con, quite a few years ago. And this was kind of one of those holy grail pieces when I first started collecting autographs and stuff like that, that I knew I wanted to get in my collection. And they just happened to be coming to Rhode Island Comic-Con at the same time, and I had already had my poster signed by them. So I said, you know what, I need to get this done. And that is an 11 by 17 print of the final fight scene in the Karate Kid 1 with Johnny. So you see up there William Zabka and Daniel LaRusso, Ralph Macchio. So that's that final scene in this cool 11 by 17 image here, and the quality is awesome, and the way they signed it with the silver Sharpie in those top right hand corners just looks really, really cool hung up. So this thing is displayed in my home gym at all times, so definitely took this thing down to show you guys. This is a real cool piece. It just looks really slick, so that's why I like this one a lot. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to get into is going to be just other cast members from the Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. I'll explain a little bit about each one, and these are all going to actually be on 8 by 10s. So everything I'm going to show at this point is going to be an 8 by 10 print and their signature on it. So the first one I'm going to show here is actually just a really side character in the original Karate Kid movie. This print that I have here is actually not from the Karate Kid, but this actor is from the Karate Kid, and I want to show that now. So if you take a look at this, this is Tom Fridley, and this is a scene from Friday the 13th Part 6. So in that movie here, he played Court, and he was a real cool character here. I always loved Tom Fridley as an actor. Just he had that really cool 80s look, and he was on a lot of pretty cool movies in the 80s. Now, another great movie that he was in was a movie I've talked about before on this channel called Summer Camp Nightmare. Now, if you have not seen that one, it is not available on DVD or Blu-ray, which I hope somebody gets that title. Vinegar Syndrome, that's you. And it's a real cool movie, and he kind of plays a very similar character as he played in Friday the 13th Part 6, a real 80s kind of punk character, and just had a really cool look about him. So he actually is in the Karate Kid. He was actually younger at that point. He played one of Freddy, so Freddy that Daniel met as he was moving into his new home. And Freddie said, "You want to come to a party on the beach?" And that's where he saw Allie for the first time. And he was playing soccer with a bunch of buddies. Now, one of the buddies was Tom Fridley at the time, and I believe his name in the movie was Alan. And he was one of the kids that was at the beach with him playing soccer. And I think he had the famous line to Daniel where he said, "I don't think they have moves where he comes from," when he was trying to get him to talk to Allie over on the beach. So this is autographed by Tom Fridley, and I had seen him at Monster Mania years and years ago, and due to the fact that I knew him from Karate Kid, due to the fact that I loved Summer Camp Nightmare and him in the Friday the 13th series, I knew I had to meet him and get this thing signed. At some point, I would love to get him signed on a Karate Kid item just to kind of add it to my collection. All right, the next 8x10 I have signed here is by the Karate Bad Boy himself. This is Mr. Sean Cannon. Now, in my last video, I did show the Cobra Kai gi that is also signed by him. It says Karate Bad Boy Mike Barnes and Sean Cannon at the bottom. So I had met Sean at, actually it's funny because he was kind of on my bucket list for a long time on an actor that I wanted to meet, just because I just thought he was such an awesome character in Karate Kid 3. He kind of took that Johnny 80s bad boy, and then it was almost like a 90s more bad boy, right? So he was supposed to be almost like Johnny 2.0 at the time. I also knew him as, growing up, my mother was a huge General Hospital fan, and through my middle school years, one of my duties was, every time I got home, I had to press play at 3 o'clock for General Hospital to record because my mother was always working. So my brother and I would get home from school, and the first thing we were told to do was to make sure we hit record on that VCR, and if we didn't, we would have heard about it. So there was plenty of times that I sat there and watched General Hospital for years because it was the only thing we were able to watch between 3 and 4 o'clock on the weekdays when I was a kid. That was kind of before I had a TV in my room and stuff, so 3 to 4 was always off limits. So I knew Sean Cannon from that. He played Quartermain, I think AJ Quartermain, he played at one point. I know the actor had changed at that time. But Sean Cannon was a super cool guy. I somehow came across that he was doing a signing here. I live in the Northeast in Massachusetts, and he was actually at like a collectible shop in a mall. So I kind of drove about 45 minutes, 50 minutes to this mall, and he just had a table there in front and center of this collectible store signing away. So that's when I got my gi signed, and that's when I got this 8x10 signed with him wearing the Cobra Kai uniform here, right on the last scene of Karate Kid Part 3. So he was a super cool guy, super personable. I remember right after I got done meeting him, we had chatted a little bit about Cobra Kai. At the time, Season 1 had just finished, and he kind of chatted a little bit about how he was really hoping that he could get on that series, and he had not heard anything back about it, but it was something he was really striving for to do. And based on how things seem with him now and where the storylines are going, it almost seems like his dream's going to come true. So we don't know for a fact, but it's looking very, very positive right now. So Sean Cannon, 8x10, add this to my Cobra Kai cast or the Cobra Kai team autographs. So Mr. Sean Cannon. All right, so the next one I have, I really jumped on this as soon as I heard it was happening. Again, I've been preaching for some conventions in the past to get the Cobra Kai team in there. This was well before the show had started. You know, I've been going to conventions for a long time, and it was a while before I ever saw anybody from the Karate Kid hit up one of the conventions I attended. I think Martin Cove was the first one, and then all of a sudden Johnny trickled in, and then Ralph Macchio trickled in, and then they started kind of going around the circuit. And I can remember during that time, I had contacted a couple conventions, basically being like, hey, you've got Martin Cove, you've got William Zabka showing up. Like, you know, how cool would it be if you could get the rest of the crew from Cobra Kai in there and do like this big Cobra Kai reunion, like maybe have a photo op with the whole cast. And, you know, if you get a cool item, you can have it all signed, like something like that. And I pretty much was shut down. I pretty much was told that, they wouldn't be a draw. The other cast members would not be a draw, so it was not worth them bringing them in. Fast forward like almost 10 years later, and I bet they're kicking themselves for doing that now, because I think that anybody that has to do with the Karate Kid or Cobra Kai, any convention at this point would want to bring on their guest list. So right around Cobra Kai Season 1, you started to see a lot of the Cobra Kai members coming out of the woodwork a little bit. Now, I had received an email just because, again, I do attend these conventions a lot. I am on some autograph email lists, and I cannot, unless it says it on this item, which I do not know for a fact, could have been Zobi. Somebody was doing a signing with Rob Garrison, who played Tommy in the Karate Kid, and I jumped on it so fast because I knew that this was a very rare signing for him. I had not heard nor seen him ever, right? I only knew him from the movie. I didn't know anything or what he was up to at that time, but I knew that he was doing a signing, and I knew this may be my only opportunity to get this, so I made sure to add my name to the list, and sure enough, I have an 8x10 here, signed by Tommy. Mr. Rob Garrison himself. Sadly, he made an appearance in Cobra Kai Season 2, and since then we have lost him. And he's best known for the famous quote, "Get him a body bag! Yeah!" And what a cool scene here at the end of the original Karate Kid. Got a signature there. Now, I'm super happy to have gotten this, especially now that he has passed. And I'm glad he was able to make it onto Season 2 before all that went down. But I'm glad I picked this up now. I don't know how much something like this would go for, considering he's passed. And I know that he didn't do many autograph signings. So, awesome piece to have in my collection. Now, sticking with the same pretty much concept, again, I received another email probably around the end of Season 1 of Cobra Kai saying that this actor is doing a private signing, and it's a very rare signing, and he may never do another signing again. So if you want an item from him, you will jump on it now. So that I did. And I'm happy I did. I do not know the status of this actor. I know he is very busy. I know we have not seen him in the Cobra Kai TV show yet. I think that we will see him in the Cobra Kai TV show at some point. I'm not sure how he's going to fit in the equation. I think he'd be a real cool character to fit in the equation. He was one of those characters from the original movie that he was a side character, but there was something about him that, you thought he could have been the main villain. He could have been Johnny if William Zabka didn't have the role. He just had that, bad boy look about him. Kind of had like a Kiefer Sutherland type look, in a sense. But he was a super cool character, and he's also the son of Steve McQueen, and that is Chad McQueen, who played Dutch in the original Karate Kid. Now, this is an awesome print. Look at that. He had signed that in a blue paint pen. And this is JSA authorized. So whatever company did this, I don't remember where that email came from. It was a very similar email, like I said, with Tommy. But again, I do not remember what company, because I have a bunch of companies that do these kind of signings that come through my inbox. And I don't remember if it was the same company or very different, but this is awesome. I just love that image. This was, I believe, the scene when he was confronting Daniel in the locker room. And he said, "You're dead meat." But yeah, so Chad McQueen, very rare signature to get. And I'm happy to have this one in my collection as well. So, this is actually one of the newer items that I have. I'm going to start talking about this now as I start to kind of get into the last half of these signatures here. Is, like I said, I've been going to conventions for years and years and years, getting autographs, finishing collection pieces, and it was one of those things where, as the more and more I started to go, the less and less I felt like I really needed. I was completing a lot of bucket list things, and I'm glad I did it early, because I've talked about this before with some other people in the community, in that, when we were going to those conventions hardcore, you were meeting X, Y, and Z people, and they were charging like $20 to meet them, take a picture, get your autograph. So I was lucky enough to able to get a lot of stuff done early. So now a lot of these same people, prices are very, very high. I'm so glad I was able to catch a lot of these actors from Karate Kid early, because now with the show being so hot, if conventions ever do come back around, I'm sure that the prices for a William Zabka and a Martin Kove and a Ralph Macchio are going to be double what I ended up paying for them years ago. So this next one here is another character that I had never got to meet. He still falls in the same category as Dutch and Tommy and the other two that I talked about here. So I knew he was somebody I definitely wanted to add to this collection. And I never seen any email about, he was doing a signing or anything like that, but he also has a pretty good little role on the Cobra Kai series. And that is Bobby from Karate Kid Part 1, played by Mr. Ron Thomas. So it says, "I can beat this guy," from that famous line in the original Karate Kid. And it says, signed by Sensei Ron Thomas, who is actually a sensei now. And he's had a role on Cobra Kai Season 2 and Season 3. Now, if anybody's interested in getting an autograph by Bobby, Ron Thomas, Google him. Google him. He has a website. I had recently got this because I had found that he had a website, and he will autograph items for you at a very, very reasonable cost. Probably less than he would have signed if I had met him at a convention. So if I would go to Sensei, I think it's senseironthomas.com, I believe, or just Google that. Find his website, and he has some pictures that you can choose to get signed. And that's what I did, and it came relatively quick. I'm going to say within 2 weeks it was here. So I'm definitely glad to add that to my collection, because it was something I really just wanted to kind of tie together with the other Cobra Kai cast members that I have from the first movie. With that being said, there is a couple more that I do need. As we know, Larry B. Scott was in Cobra Kai in the first Karate Kid. I would love to get a Karate Kid picture of him signed. I'm on the search for one. I will start talking about that next slightly, because these companies now, with conventions kind of, on hold for now, these other companies have kind of really stepped up. Companies like V-Shout, companies like Zobi, companies like OC Celebrity, Hollywood's, what is it called? Hollywood Showcase, or whatever it may be. There's a bunch of these companies now that are taking the reins and doing mail-in autographs and, virtual shout-outs and all these cool little things, which to some people are probably like, oh, it's just a cash-in, it's this, that, and this. Honestly, I've tried to take as much advantage of this as I can for multiple reasons. Number one, it saves a lot of time. Yes, it is cool to meet these people. May I meet these people in the future? Possibly. And I still will if the opportunity is there. But is the opportunity going to be there? I do not know that answer. For many reasons. What will conventions look like in the next 5 years? What will these actors end up doing in the next 5 years? Maybe one of these actors becomes a breakout and they do not attend these kind of conventions. I don't know. So utilizing these companies right now that are taking, I guess, I wouldn't even say advantage. I would just say they're smart. They're taking these people that are hot right now and they're doing this service online where you can kind of mail in and order in You can send your own items. You can pick an item. And the prices are not bad. It's what you would spend at a convention, but you do not have to wait in line. You save a lot of time. And that's kind of why I've been doing that these last couple months. Just because I've been able to kind of get signatures in my collection that I probably wouldn't have got otherwise. Maybe these people are not doing conventions. One of these people here has been on my bucket list since the day I started going to these conventions, and I've never seen nor met this person at any of these, nor have I ever known that they had done a signing at one of these events. But there was an event and a private signing with some of the Karate Kid members recently. I believe it was OC Celebrity. I hope I'm telling the truth. It's one of those companies, though, and they did a big cast reunion. And I went on there, and I got one autograph that I really needed. Because, like I said, I had met Ralph Macchio multiple times. I have multiple signatures for him. Same with William Zabka. Same with Martin Kove. But I never had anything from Elizabeth Shue. So I was able to get on the list to get an autograph from Elizabeth Shue. And this is Beckett approved and certified. So this is legit. And this was the picture that I had ordered. And I am super stoked to have this. Now, would I want her maybe on my Karate Kid 1 sheet in the future? Yeah. So, which means if I ever have the chance to actually meet her in person, I will definitely take that opportunity to still meet her and get that signed. But to have this in my collection is awesome. So again, this is something that is a little bit more recent. This is an item that I obtained within the last 3 months. And especially now with her being in Cobra Kai Season 3, it was definitely something I wanted to jump on. Now, with that same vein of these companies that are doing this right now, I would definitely check them out, especially if you're collecting specific things. Like, again, Cobra Kai right now is just so hot, and I'm a huge fan of it, and Karate Kid franchise, I'm just a big fan. I'm trying to kind of complete an autograph collection with a lot of these side characters from the movies. But also now I was able to grab a couple signatures from some of the stars of the new show. So I will not be able to say this name. This was a signing that was done by Zobi. And this is for, I know the first name is Sholo. Last name I will not even try to pronounce, but you know him as Miguel from Cobra Kai. So again, to have this cool picture in my collection with an autograph now, I'm super stoked. Because again, we do not know where this actor is going to be in a year. He may never do regular conventions. I don't know. But I have this now, which is cool. If there's an opportunity to meet them in the future, sure, I'll probably take it. But for now, that is perfect for me. So kind of continuing with that as well, from Zobi, we've got Sam, Mary Mouser here, Sam LaRusso. So again, what's cool is I got the same image for both cast members here. So my goal now is to kind of get the same type of image and display them together, which is pretty cool. And the last one I'm going to show today is another Zobi. And that is Hawk. So again, same style as the Sam and Miguel. But now we have Hawk. And it's pretty cool because he actually sent a video shout out as he was signing this thing. So that was pretty cool too. I don't think I paid any extra for that. I don't know if that was just something he was doing. But it was cool. It was a nice bonus. So again, I was able to grab these 3 items. Within the last couple months, and I will probably do a follow-up to this video because I do have this same style of Peyton List, aka Tori, coming as well. I just not have it yet, but it's coming. And I also have a few more signed Karate Kid related items on the way. So when I get those in, I will definitely have another follow-up to this. But thank you guys for checking this out. Post down below any questions that you guys have. Like I said, check out these sites, man, that are doing a lot of these live auctions and live signings and pre-order signings and all this other stuff, because if there's anybody that you're looking for, it might be a real easy way to get them instead of trying to make your way to conventions and standing in line and all this other stuff. So I hope you liked this part 2 of my autograph collection when it comes to anything Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. And I will be back soon with the third part of this Karate Kid Cobra Kai collection series. Thank you guys, and stay rad.